We're Nicki and Carlo and we live in Positano, Italy, except we also just bought a house in Tuscany, which we're currently renovating, so we live there too. Join us as we turn this house and olive grove into a dream home and get to grips with living in two different parts of Italy.
Hello everywhere!
Good morning from a beautiful, sunny, warm Tuscany. Yes, we are back in Tuscany again. I know it's getting confusing. Are we in Positano? Are we in Tuscany? You'll never know. Well, we're back here at the moment and it is absolutely lovely, much nicer than before we left. Yesterday I was editing this week's video and it starts in Positano and I wasn't very happy with how it started. We'd had a few days of bad weather in Positano and we hadn't filmed much, and it was the very last day and we were in a panic and we were leaving to come back here, and we sort of filmed a bit without really thinking about what we were doing, and I wasn't happy with it, so I decided to change the beginning of the video and start with us out on this beautiful dog walk in Tuscany.
Vediamo l'ultimo giorno a Positano allora. Che è successo, amore?
It is about 8:30 in the morning and the power has just gone out, so if you wouldn't mind just standing there with your torch, because I'm trying to put some makeup on my face. Can't see a thing. But yes, this is what happens in Positano when there's a rainstorm, a thunderstorm, often the power goes out.
Sì, no, quello che succede a casa nostra, non in tutte le case.
At our house, because our house is at the very end of the power line. See? È questo.
Sì, è questo il problema.
And when the lightning strikes, it strikes and it hits us. Now we have a protector, so we don't lose much anymore, but we have to do things in the dark. Luckily, I can put my makeup on in the dark. I know we can do that. But we're hoping that we can leave and drive back to Tuscany this morning. And we're waiting for a break in the rain. We don't know if we're going to get one, but on the weather report, it does say that there will be a break at about 9:10. It doesn't say for how long. So if there's a break at 9:10, we're going to make a dash for it, because we've got to get up 500 steps and then about half a kilometre to the car with the dogs, and we don't want wet dogs in the car for 6 hours. That wouldn't be fun. We don't really want wet baggage and wet feet either from the waterfalls coming down the steps. So hopefully it will stop raining for a bit. And can you figure out what you want to go to Grandad? Right, the rain seems to have died down. There's like a, it's supposed to be like, oh, maybe it hasn't died down. Oh, I thought it had stopped. What should we do? Right, let's just go. Oh.
Non sono disperato di andare, è che sembra che non smette mai di piovere e mi scoccio di stare qui senza fare niente.
Okay, that's great for you, but what about the dogs? They're going to get drenched.
Quando arriviamo in macchina li asciughiamo, abbiamo l'asciugamani.
Stylish as always.
Oh, you look great.
Huh?
Sappiamo il doppio di prima.
Stavamo a mezza scala. Okay, right, we're gonna get wet.
I'm glad I'm not coming with you, or else I would have had to sit in the back with the wet dogs.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Right, okay.
Dai.
The waterfall's not too bad today. It's safe to go. Oh, I've done about 150 steps. Sky phoned. I forgot my computer charger. Had to go back down again. Now I've got to go back up again. Oh, poor little doggies. Sopping wet. The worst thing is the windscreen wiper needs to be changed because the one on his side, on the driver's side, is broken. Thankfully the mechanic ordered them and they arrived yesterday, but it is pouring.
Meglio quando andiamo via dalla Toscana che da Positano. È un incubo.
It's a stress, it's a massive stress. It's either 40 degrees and the pavement is melting and it's boiling hot and the dogs can't put their feet on the ground and you have to carry them, or it's diluvial rainstorms that sweep you away.
Dai, non esagerare, non è sempre così, amore.
It seems to be every time we leave.
No, diciamo 50% delle volte.
Great.
Bisogna essere positivi.
Luckily yesterday I brought 4 towels up to the car because we've got tons of towels in this house and we don't quite have enough in Tuscany, especially with 5 guests arriving tomorrow. So I brought a bag full of towels up and this morning they have all come in useful. I think we've just used all 4 of them. I really don't enjoy driving on this road downhill in the rain. Once I skidded down this part here, I went round the corner and I was driving down this slope and my car started aquaplaning and I completely lost control of it. This is when I was about 24, I think, and I think I started skidding somewhere around about here where it starts going down. Yes, and then I just completely lost control.
200 metri, svolta a destra.
And skidded all the way down until I crashed right into this wall in front of us. I had no control whatsoever. My dad came out to visit a week later and I spent the next week trying to hide in the left side corner of the car so he couldn't see the damage. It rained continuously for the first 3 hours of our journey, but by the time we arrived at Otricoli, our halfway point, it had stopped. We had a quick lunch in a nearby trattoria and took the dogs for a much needed walk through the archaeological park. Rompi subito se fosse lo faccio un video separato perché adesso ieri aveva fatto quel pezzo con mamma, con la mamma. It was dusk as we drove up into the Tuscan Hills and fog lay thick in the valleys. We were back.
Ciao!
Very, very misty. And you gonna go check for squirrels?
E poi, il giorno dopo che siamo tornati, sono arrivati 5 ospiti.
Yes, we had 5 of my friends from England arrive and we had to get 4 beds ready. We had 3 teenage boys and my 2 friends Bex and Mushy, and we were quite distracted with them for the next few days. And luckily, one of the days we went out for a big walk in the countryside and Carlo, unknown to me, started filming, because if he hadn't have done that, I would have been so distracted chatting with my friends that we wouldn't have had any video at all. So thank you for filming.
You're welcome.
The next day, our guests arrived, 2 girlfriends of mine and 3 teenage boys between them. I met Mushy and Bex when I was about 21, 22, I think. We all lived in Weybridge and we met through mutual friends who were always holding parties. My very first job was in a small delicatessen and many of the local kids, including Bex, worked there at some time or another, and we all formed lifelong friendships. When I moved to Italy, Michelle and some of the others would often come to stay in the summer before life and kids got in the way. Those were unforgettable times, wild parties, Vesper adventures, lazy beach days and Italian love stories. Wow. Bex has been to stay in Positano too, and we always try to get together when I'm back in England.
Do you want to go up as well?
Come and sit on it.
Are you not going to go run?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm going to hurt you. I can't. Push it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. Okay.
It was such a pleasure to have them both here together with the boys. We had 2 days of great weather, so long walks and dips in the pool were the order of the day.
Good girl.
Sam, the water is cold.
Yes.
Okay, come on, go out. Try the other pool, mini pool.
Yeah.
Come on, don't be a pussy. Oh wow, you are very, very brave.
I reckon you can get in the swimming pool now and you'll be fine. No, I'm not getting out.
Che cucini, amore?
Okay, so for the boys, we've got pasta with tuna, lemon and olives. And for the girls, we've got a healthy salad with sweet potatoes and red peppers, feta cheese, seeds, leaves, rocket.
Wow,
Yeah.
un sacco di roba.
Yeah, it's easy. There's 3 of us cooking, so...
Ah, io vedo solo te cucinare però.
No, because the others have done it already. They're quicker than me.
Ok.
Michelle made the salad.
Guardi i ragazzi poveri che stanno divertendo.
It's wonderful.
Very elegant container for the pasta, but that'll do. It's lunchtime and I've just come down into the woodland area because Carlo has been clearing this strip of land that we have here that we've never really gone into. And it looks like he's done a great job and it's another little olive grove. It's quite a nice little garden here.
Hello.
Hello. These long forgotten olive trees.
Hai visto? Questa pianta è cresciuta. Se vogliamo le olive lo dobbiamo podare, altrimenti con questa su non farà mai olive.
Come on, Ollie. Vieni. Vieni. And this seems to be a bit further on, a bamboo thicket, but he's already made a pathway through it. Do we have more the other side? So one of the reasons that my friends came over was because they wanted to help us with the olive harvest, but unfortunately we've been booked in for next week, so they're not going to be here by then. So I phoned around and tried to find somebody who's harvesting olives so that they can join in, and our friend Giovanni has said, yes, come and help us, we're going to be picking olives, and he's just sent us down this long track. So we're walking down this track. And he said there's olives down here somewhere, and there's probably people picking them, but we've been walking for quite a while and I haven't found them yet. So it's all very mysterious. We're in a town about 20 minutes away from home, and we're just about to come out into a field by the look of it. Where are the olive trees? Aha, there's some. What a beautiful view. Yeah. So they're getting the boys really stuck in. Giovanni's got some really long nets and they're going to spread them beneath the trees. Yeah, go on. It's all right. Walk on it. This is the old-fashioned way of harvesting the olives, picking them with your hands. Very different from how we do it in Positano. And this is the modern way of doing it. This is an olive picker, and it's like a rake that shakes and vibrates the olives off the tree onto the floor. So if you remember watching us harvest the olives the last 2 years in Positano, it's a very different process there. On the Amalfi coast, the olive trees grow much higher and taller because there we've got limited space. We haven't got any of this wide open area like this. So we need the space under the olive trees to grow other vegetables. And they let the trees go tall and the olives are quite high up. So in Positano, the way our neighbour Michele does it is he climbs up the trees in October and he prunes the trees, the branches fall to the ground, and we sit on the floor and harvest the olives from the branches on the ground. He also does have one of these rake machines here, so he does use that as well for some of the trees. But the way they do it here is very different. They let the olive trees grow much lower and they prune them in the middle of the tree so that the sunlight can get into the middle of the tree, and the branches with the olives on hang much, much lower, so you can just stand there and pick them. Just starting to get the first few drops of rain, which are coming in from that big dark mass over there, unfortunately. So we're gathering up the olives that have already been picked. It's just started raining now. It's nearly, it's 12:10, so they're just deciding whether to carry on picking for a bit longer or give up and go and have lunch, because seems to be raining a bit heavier. Sam's carrying some of the olives into the back of the van. They've got 3 crates worth, which is not bad for an hour's work. And they'll probably try again this afternoon. It's just scheduled to rain for the next hour or two, but you can actually see the rain getting closer and closer. So I think now it's time to stop.
Sono 3 giorni dopo e ho trovato nuovi spazi, incluso un giardino che non sapevamo che era nostro, ma è nostro. Lì dove c'è quella salita che era nascosta, la salita non si vedeva. Vieni, ti faccio vedere. Qui era tutto nascosto, non si vedeva niente, era pieno di canne qua. Adesso guarda cosa c'è.
Wow.
Sì, anche da quel lato.
What could we do with it? Cosa facciamo con questo pezzo?
Ah, non lo so, possiamo metterci qualche pianta di limone o di arancio. Però prima dobbiamo potare gli alberi che sono troppo alti. Sì, e da quel lato lì praticamente poi finisce la nostra proprietà. Puoi vedere qui che questi erano alberi da frutto. Questi erano, io penso, erano prugne o albicocche, sì. Adesso è iniziato un terzo livello più sotto. Se vuoi venire a vedere, ti faccio vedere dove sto pulendo anche lì.
So basically we found 3 terraced levels. So we've just shown you one. Then this is the second one, which has the old olive grove on it, and all these trees were covered in ivy, as you saw the other day. And they've grown quite tall for olive trees in this area. They normally keep them much shorter so that you can pick the olives from the ground. So these are going to be pruned right back to nothing, and we'll sort of start again. But I mean, that's ridiculously high for an olive tree.
Questo è il terzo livello che sto pulendo.
And has that got olive trees as well?
Sì.
Really?
Sì, è coperto dall'edera, ma sono olivi.
Wow. There we go. So there's the ivy, and then all the way up above, some very, very high olives. So this is where the third level begins, and this again was all covered in bamboo, so we couldn't really see it. But he's done a great job of clearing it in the last few days.
Qualche volta succede che Nicki mi chiede: ma dove vai la mattina così presto? Io dico: vado nel bosco perché mi piace, mi rilassa, è qualcosa di diverso tra quello che devo fare è quello che voglio fare. Io questo lo voglio fare, mi piace da morire. La sera, anche se sono stanchissimo, mi giro indietro e guardo, wow, ho pulito tutto questo spazio e mi rende felice. Lo so che può sembrare un po' stupido, ma è quello che mi piace fare.
And meanwhile, I'm a woodland widow at home alone with the dogs, waiting for some company.
Sì, sei una vedova del bosco. Spero che vi è piaciuto questo video e non vi ho annoiato troppo con il discorso del bosco.
If you haven't seen our last video on Aperitivo 50, you might enjoy it. It was a rainy day and we got out some old photos from, let's say, us at the beginning, when we first met, when Sky was a little baby, and it was quite a nice trip down memory lane for us. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. I hardly ever ask. If you're a long time watcher, you will know that I never ask, but every now and again I should do, because only about 40% of our viewers are subscribed at the moment. So it'd be nice if you could hit the subscribe button. It's completely free, doesn't cost anything, and it's very easy to do. And next week we think we will be starting the first ever olive harvest in Tuscany. So do come and join us for that.
Ciao a tutti!
See you next Sunday.